Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
The sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a warm golden hue over the suburban neighborhood of Crestwood. Rows of comfortable homes lined the streets, and families bustled about, settling into their evening routines. Dinner-time chatter floated through open windows, laughter mingling with the distant hum of hover cars. In this familiar setting, however, a sense of the extraordinary lingered just beneath the surface. Extraterrestrial life had become a fascinating topic of conversation since the Galactic Diplomacy Act of 2045 had opened Earth's doors to other worlds. For most, extraterrestrial creatures were merely curiosities, subjects of late-night documentaries or the odd news segment about some interplanetary diplomatic visit. But for 15-year-old Luna Delaney, they were the embodiment of adventure, a world she desperately wanted to explore. With her bright blue hair and unmatched zeal for the unusual, Luna was known for her insatiable curiosity and penchant for mischief. This year, her birthday wished for something that no other kid in Crestwood had: a pet from another planet. "Mom, come on. It's my birthday." Luna was nearly bouncing on her toes as she leaned against the kitchen island, persistence evident in her voice. "I need a pet. Not just any pet, a real alien pet. Something unique." Her mother, Renee, a practical woman with a penchant for order, looked over her glasses with an arched brow. "Luna, you know how unpredictable they can be. Remember last year when your cousin got that, whatever it was? It blew up the family picnic." "But Mom, this is different." Luna insisted, waving her hands animatedly. "Think about it. I could teach it tricks. We could be the coolest family in town. Plus, I've been researching alien species all year." Renee exchanged a weary glance with Luna's father, Mark, who sat at the table, a half-eaten sandwich in front of him and a thoughtful look on his face. He was always the more lenient parent. "Fine," he finally said, chuckling at Luna's excited expression. "But only if you promise to take full responsibility for it." "Really? I promise. I'll train it, walk it, feed it. You won't regret it." Luna grinned widely, throwing her arms around her dad in a tight embrace. It was a moment of triumph, but also the start of an unexpected adventure. After arriving at the Galactic Pets Emporium, a local alien adoption center, Luna's heart raced with excitement as she stepped inside. The shop was bright and nothing short of surreal, filled with species from all corners of the universe. An array of creatures hummed, chirped, and even glowed, each housed in transparent enclosures filled with colorful alien plants. As they wandered through the aisles, Luna's eyes widened with wonder and disbelief. What would she choose? A small, furry creature with 8 eyes? An amphibious being that could change colors? It felt like a dream come true. Then, in a dimly lit corner, she spotted Xylo. He sat upright in a spacious enclosure, his skin shimmering under the shop's lights. He was unlike any creature Luna had ever seen. The way he held himself spoke of confidence, and his large, intelligent eyes seemed to scan the room with keen awareness. "Xylo," read the placard below. "Species, Chylorix, known for their high intelligence and combat skills. Requires a large living space and frequent stimulation." Luna pressed her face against the glass, heart pounding. "Can I talk to him?" The attendant, a wise-looking elder with shimmering blue skin, raised an eyebrow. "Most Chylorix don't engage easily, but he's an exception. He possesses advanced communication skills." Without hesitation, Luna knelt down. "Hi, Xylo. I'm Luna. I want to take you home." To her surprise, Xylo responded, his voice smooth and melodic. "And I would prefer not to be a pet." His gaze locked onto hers, a smirk playing at the corners of his lips. "But for you, I might reconsider." Luna laughed, her heart soaring. This was no ordinary pet. It was a companion with a personality, one who could talk back. "What do you mean? Who do you think you are?" "I am Xylo, and I am far more than just a mere pet," he replied, his eyes gleaming with mischief. "But tell me, Luna, do you truly believe you can handle what comes with me?" "What comes with you?" she inquired, intrigued. "Adventure, challenges, and the truth that I might be much more than your average pet." As Luna considered his words, a sense of destiny washed over her. She was ready for a journey that would change everything. Not only would she have an alien pet, but she would embark on discoveries far beyond anything she had imagined. "Let's do it. I think we can make a great team," she declared, a grin stretching across her face. Thus began their adventure, a bond waiting to grow, illuminated by the stars and challenges that lay ahead. Luna stood in front of Xylo's enclosure, her heart racing as she processed the implications of what he had just said. "Adventure. Challenges, what do you mean?" she pressed, determined to understand more about this intriguing alien before committing fully. Xylo leaned closer, his luminous green eyes locking onto hers. "You'll see. But let's just say, life as your companion won't be dull. I have skills that can help us, both in learning about your world and protecting it if the need arises." "The need arises? What are you, some kind of superhero?" Luna chuckled, unable to fully take him seriously. She squinted at him slightly. "What kind of skills exactly?" Xylo stood up, his posture regal. "For starters, I can communicate not just verbally, but also through telepathy. I can sense emotions and intentions, which might prove useful when you encounter less friendly individuals." He shrugged, as if he were discussing the weather. "I can also hold my own in a fight. Not that I'm eager for conflict, but it would be unwise to underestimate my capabilities." Luna's nervous excitement surged. Wait. You can sense emotions? So, you know what I'm feeling right now." Xylo's smirk deepened, as clear as a starry sky. "Your excitement is palpable, but also an element of doubt. You wonder if you're choosing wisely." As red flushed over her cheeks, Luna huffed in response, trying to cover her embarrassment. "You don't have to bring that up," she replied playfully, brushing it off. "You're right, though. I'm just curious." Xylo finished for her, amusement dancing in his eyes. "Right. Very curious," she admitted, her initial hesitation slowly melting into exhilaration. Before she could respond further, the attendant approached, observing their exchange with a knowing smile. "Xylo is special, Luna. He's been with us for a while, waiting for someone who could understand him. Do you wish to adopt him?" "Yes, absolutely," Luna exclaimed, her decision made without hesitation. "Very well, but you must understand that it's a commitment," the attendant warned, flipping through paperwork. "And taking a Kylorix home is not without its challenges. Have you thought about how he'll adapt to your environment?" "I think we'll manage," she replied confidently, glancing back at Xylo. "Right, I can adapt," Xylo chimed in, his tone light yet affirming. "But I hope your world can accommodate someone like me." With a few scribbled signatures and a small fee exchanged, Luna was officially the proud owner of a talking alien pet. As they walked out of the Galactic Pets Emporium, Xylo looked up at her, a mix of humor and sincerity in his expression. "First rule of being your companion. I'm not taking your orders. We're partners, remember?" "Okay, Mr. Mystery Man," Luna teased, rolling her eyes playfully. "But I still make the rules of the house." Xylo chuckled, throwing his arms up in surrender. "You may try, but don't be surprised if I often refuse to comply. This is going to be fun." With her bright smile stretching wider, Luna led Xylo through the streets of Crestwood, the sunset whispering promises of many adventures to come. She had no idea the roller coaster awaiting them both. Later that evening, after gathering some supplies and preparing a comfortable space for Xylo in her room, Luna plopped down on her bed and glanced over at him, who was inspecting her collection of stellar maps pinned above her desk. "So, what's your home like? The Kyler system?" Luna ventured, curiosity bubbling inside her. Xylo turned to her, a flicker of nostalgia passing through his gaze. "It's vibrant and often chaotic, marked by breathtaking storms and vast oceans of color. But it's dangerous, filled with predators stronger than you can imagine." Luna's brow furrowed. "How did you end up here then? You're not in a cage like the others. You can talk back and not afraid of them." A wistful sigh escaped Xylo as he settled down on her floor, the glow from her various gadgets casting shadows over his unique features. "Not all Kylorix think like me. Many see humans as mere commodities. That's why they're often captured and sold. But I was different. I've always had a deep fascination with other cultures, and I grew tired of the same old monotony back home. Luna nodded, captivated. She could feel the connection between them deepening as they shared their stories. Two beings from different worlds beginning to bridge the gap between them. "And now you're here in my room," she said, laughter coloring her voice, "where you'll get a front row seat to the chaos that is my life." Xylo smiled, the warmth in his eyes reflecting his eagerness. Perhaps I needed to be in a human home to discover my true potential. As the night wore on, their conversations ebbed and flowed. They talked about their worlds, their fears, and laughed at the absurdity of each other's lives. Luna realized she had not just acquired an alien pet. She had gained a friend, a partner in adventure. But the shadows of Xylo's past loomed somewhere in the distance, whispering hints of impending challenges that they would one day face together. The following days passed in a whirlwind of excitement and curiosity as Luna adapted to life with Xylo. She introduced him to her friends, who were both fascinated and a little intimidated by his alien charm. They had never seen a creature like him, tall, lithe, with mesmerizing green skin that shifted in hue depending on his emotions. He quickly became the centerpiece of Luna's social life, bringing new energy to the small group that often hung out at her house after school. However, adjusting to life as Xylo's partner was not without its challenges. Each evening, Luna would come home to find Xylo experimenting with her things, his sharp intellect sparking chaotic curiosity. One day, she found him surrounded by her collection of art supplies, creating swirls of color and unusual shapes on paper they had bought together. "What have you done?" Luna gasped, staring at the vibrant mess. Xylo smiled proudly, pointing at the kaleidoscope of colors. "I call it human forms of communication." "What is that supposed to be?" Luna asked, holding up a canvas that barely resembled anything recognizable. "This is a representation," he added, gesturing dramatically, "of your laughter, a manifestation of its joy, the exuberance you bring. I find to laugh is fascinating. So few creatures we encounter have such a response." Luna burst into laughter, a sound that echoed through her room, the absurdity of the artwork hitting her all at once. "You're a funny one, Xylo, but I really think you need to tone it down just a little. My parents are going to think I'm an absolute mess." "Mess? This is creativity," he declared, dramatically emphasizing each word. "Embrace it, Luna. I thought humans loved artistic expression." "Okay, point taken. But can we express art without making a giant mess in my bedroom?" she suggested, raising an eyebrow at the splashes of paint now covering her desk and barely surviving books. "Very well," he said with a theatrical sigh. "For you, I shall attempt to maintain order." As days turned into weeks, a rhythm developed between the two. Luna would help Xylo refine his human skills, learning about cultural nuances, television shows, and earth foods, while he guided her in understanding her emotions and the deeper connections that could exist within friendships. They found a delicate balance that made their relationship flourish. Xylo quickly adapted to school life, albeit in unconventional ways, often eliciting bewilderment from teachers and classmates alike. He excelled in science classes, where his advanced knowledge of alien technologies and biology wowed Luna's peers. In gym class, his agile reflexes and combat prowess shone through, albeit unintentionally leading to minor chaos. More than once, an overzealous soccer kick sent a ball soaring across the field toward unwary bystanders. During a particularly heated dodgeball match, Luna watched in awe as Xylo dodged a ball effortlessly, moving with grace and fluidity that left many of their classmates staring. With each throw, he displayed advanced tactical thinking. It was as if he were playing a game of chess on a battlefield. However, some of their classmates were not amused. A group of jocks, led by a boy named Brian, had begun to take an interest in Xylo's peculiar presence. Jealousy sparked in their eyes as Luna continued to shine alongside her alien friend. One afternoon, as they gathered to leave school, Brian approached with a sneer. "What's with the green freak, Luna? Some kind of weird science project?" he taunted, smirking. Xylo stepped forward, his presence all at once calm and commanding. "I am not a project. I am Xylo, your alternate pathway to understanding beyond your mundane existence. With that, a ripple of laughter swept through the bystanders. Brian's face contorted in irritation, clearly stricken by Xylo's retort. Whatever, alien. We'll see if you're as tough in a real fight. Luna could see Brian was seriously considering a confrontation, brimming with a toxic mix of bravado and aggression. She stepped forward defiantly. He's more than just an alien, Brian. He's my friend. Just because you can't handle what's different doesn't mean you can put him down. Yeah, let's see how tough that friend of yours really is. Brian laughed hollowly before turning on his heel, signaling his friends to follow him. Luna, it would be wise to avoid such confrontations, Xylo said, concern etched across his face. Such individuals are not worth your energy. Remember, I can handle challenges. I don't want you to fight anyone, Xylo. She placed a hand lightly on his arm, softening his frown. We deal with these people differently. They just don't understand. Plus, fighting isn't the answer. Despite her words, a shudder of uncertainty crawled along her spine. Would they be able to coexist peacefully? Or would there come a time when understanding couldn't soothe misunderstandings? Over the following days, Luna and Xylo leaned on each other, nurturing a bond fortified by vulnerability and adventure. Xylo helped Luna with her homework, while she introduced him to the multidimensional world of human experiences, like pizza night and classic movies. With every passing moment, their connection deepened. However, hints of the impending challenges loomed in the background, a whisper of uncertainty, a promise of trials they may soon face together. Luna sensed it but chose to focus on the here and now, wanting to cherish this newfound friendship, one that transformed not only her life, but also Xylo's. One evening, as they lay on the roof of her house, gazing up at the stars, Luna turned to Xylo. "Do you miss home?" she asked softly. "Sometimes," he confessed, his tone thoughtful. "But I feel I'm learning what it truly means to live now. Your world has its complications, yes, but you also possess a sense of connection I've long sought." "Yes, but we can't let go of what we are. I mean, our differences make us who we are," she remarked, lost in thought as she glanced at the stars. "And I think our differences could help us both, like figuring out more about each other and blending that together." Xylo turned to her, sincerity gleaming in his eyes. "You are wise beyond your years, Luna Delaney. Together, we can transcend the boundaries of our worlds." The night hummed around them, a promise of adventure, a thread weaving their two lives together into something that felt extraordinary. Life in Crestwood had taken on a rhythm, with Luna and Xylo navigating their unique friendship amidst the everyday chaos of high school. But as their bond deepened, so did the undercurrents of tension that threatened to disrupt their harmonious existence. Luna found solace in their shared moments, though a nagging sense of impending disruption grew within her. One rainy afternoon, as they lounged in her room with a movie playing on the screen, a loud knock broke the peaceful spell. Luna's parents were home early, and she rushed to the door, heart pounding with a mix of anticipation and unease. "Yeah," she called out, swinging it open to find her mom, Renee, standing with a stern look on her face. "Luna, we need to talk. It's about your friend." Renee's voice was steady but laced with concern. "Gilo." Luna felt her heart sink. "What's wrong?" Renee stepped inside, lowering her voice. "We've got reports from the neighborhood. We need to be cautious, honey. There are, as unbelievable as it sounds, creatures and hunters out there searching for aliens like Xylo." "What? Why?" Luna protested, anger bubbling to the surface. "Xylo isn't just some creature. He's my friend." Renee placed a reassuring hand on Luna's shoulder. "I understand that, but we live in a world that doesn't quite accept the unusual. There are people, hunters, who want to capture aliens like him for sport or worse." As Luna processed her mother's words, an icy anxiety gripped her. But if he's so smart, can't he defend himself? I mean, he's not defenseless. Defenseless or not, we can't take chances, especially as more attention draws on him, Renee stated, her voice steady. "It's crucial we stay vigilant. I need you to promise me you'll keep things discreet." Luna forced herself to nod, though the worry gnawed at her insides. She turned away from her mother, looking back at Xylo, who had been quietly observing the conversation. "Is this true?" Xylo asked, his expression grave but calm. "Yes," Luna admitted, biting her lip. "But you can fight. You told me you could. We can handle this, right?" There was a contemplative silence before Xylo responded. "This situation may require more than brute force. We need strategic thinking, Luna. What we face could be more than petty hunters. It might be a group with resources and knowledge of alien technology." "Great. Just another reason to freak out," she huffed, frustration spilling over. "What do we do then?" "I need you to trust me," Xylo replied, his voice firm but reassuring. "I may have a plan that revolves around blending into your world while preparing for the confrontation." Luna took a breath to steady herself. "All right, we'll figure this out together." Days passed, the dread of confrontation lingering in the air as they avoided crowds and kept their interactions discreet. Luna and Xylo remained conscious of their surroundings, their once vibrant world cloaked in a veil of tension. Each night, she found herself unable to sleep, thoughts racing as she wondered what the hunters were capable of, and more importantly, what they would do if they found Xylo. One fateful evening, the worst came to pass. As Luna sat by her window, staring into the night, a noise shattered the stillness. An engine roared in the distance, and heavy footsteps echoed beneath her home. Her heart raced as she turned to Xylo, who was already on high alert. "Stay quiet, Luna," he whispered, his eyes narrowing as he concentrated. "I'll investigate." Before she could protest, he slipped out of their sanctuary and into the shadows, his agile movements almost silent. Time slowed to a crawl as Luna waited, her stomach twisting in knots. She heard muffled voices outside, low and menacing. "Make sure we find it. The Kylorix won't escape this time," a man growled, his voice chilling. Luna's pulse quickened, the realization hitting her hard. These were the hunters her mother had warned her about. Just then, Xylo darted back into her room, barely closing the door behind him. "They're here. We need to get out. Now." "Wait, you said to blend in. What do we do?" She felt panicked but tried to think clearly. "Let's head to the back door and do exactly what I planned. We need to reach the cover of the trees," he urged, an intensity in his voice that galvanized her into action. As they stealthily moved through the house, Luna could hear the hunters outside, their voices getting closer. "I saw something move inside. Check the back," one shouted. In an adrenaline-fueled rush, Luna and Xylo slipped outside, their future hanging in the balance. The night was cool and full of shadows that danced around them as they navigated through the thick underbrush behind her home. But the hunters, armed and ready, were relentless. Just as they made it deeper into the woods, a flash of light illuminated the area, a beam from a tracking device. "Xylo, they're right behind us." Luna gasped, glancing back in horror. "I can create a distraction," Xylo said, his expression unwavering. "You need to keep moving. Stay low to the ground." Before Luna could respond, Xylo took off into the night, merging into the darkness. Luna's heart raced as she pressed on, the sounds of shouts echoing hollowly behind her. "Find them. Don't let them escape," the hunters yelled. A sense of dread washed over her as she ran, fear pricking at her mind. Would Xylo be okay? Could he withstand them alone? Moments felt like hours as she zigzagged through unfamiliar terrain, breathless and terrified. She had to trust Xylo. He had said he could handle whatever came their way. But worry clung to her like a second skin, gnawing at her insides. Just as she thought she couldn't escape, she finally reached a clearing. Panting, Luna turned to scan the area for any sign of Xylo. Then, finally, she heard a rustling from the treetops and saw him emerge. "Luna, I've drawn them away, but we can't linger here," he shouted, urgency in his tone. "We must relocate to a safer place, or they will find us." Nodding quickly, she dashed to his side, determination coursing through her veins. Together, they sprinted deeper into the woods, adrenaline propelling them forward. But Luna understood the battle was just beginning. The true test of their bond was ahead, and she vowed to fight alongside Xylo, whatever it took. The moon hung high above the trees, casting an ethereal glow that illuminated Luna and Xylo's frantic escape into the wilderness. Even as they fled the threat of the hunters, the world around them seemed to hold its breath. Luna felt the weight of the night pressing down, pushing her thoughts into a whirlwind of fear, concern, and defiance. They finally found refuge in a hidden grove deep in the woods, surrounded by thick underbrush and ancient trees that whispered secrets to the wind. Their breaths came in rapid gasps as they leaned against the trunk of a massive oak, catching their breath and collecting their thoughts. "Are you okay?" Luna asked, her voice barely above a whisper as she glanced up at Xylo, whose expression was a blend of worry and determination. "I'm unharmed," he replied, though the tension in his shoulders told a different story. "But we cannot remain complacent. They will track us, and we need a plan and a safe place to fortify our defenses." Luna nodded, her heart pounding in her chest. She glanced at him, feeling a swell of emotion that went beyond friendship. Xylo had risked himself for her. A realization struck her. He was not just a companion. They had forged a bond transcending species, a connection both powerful and profound. "Xylo," she began carefully, searching for the right words. "I know our situation is complicated, but there's something about being with you that feels more than just friendship," she confessed, her cheeks flushing as she spoke. Xylo turned to her, his expression softening. "You're right. What we have is different from human norms. My species believes in deep emotional connections that can lead to something greater, mate bonding." "Mate bonding?" Luna echoed, her curiosity piquing even amid the overwhelming circumstances surrounding them. Xylo leaned closer, his eyes shimmering, reflecting the light of the moon. For the Kylorix, mating is not just an act of reproduction. It is an emotional and spiritual union, a sacred joining of our souls that combines both strength and vulnerability. "I can feel a connection with you, Luna, one that resonates deeply within me." Luna's heart raced. "Are you saying you feel that way about me?" He nodded, sincerity emanating from him. "Yes, though I am aware of our differences, our worlds, our customs. The bond we share is undeniable. I could feel your emotions layered into each moment we spent together." She felt warmth flood her cheeks, overwhelmed by his declaration. "Xylo, I feel it too. It's terrifying and beautiful at the same time. But understand," he cautioned, "bonding, physically and emotionally, will change our relationship. It will make us vulnerable, both to each other and to external threats. Are you prepared for that?" As she considered his words, Luna reflected on everything they had been through, the laughter, the danger, the profound connection that had blossomed against the odds. "I think I am. I want to explore that bond, Xylo. If we're going to face whatever comes our way, we need to do it together, completely." Xylo took a deep breath, his demeanor shifting to one of resolute determination. "Then we must prepare ourselves mentally and physically. If we are to accept this bond, we must also strategize against those who seek to drive us apart." Their moment of vulnerability intertwined with a renewed sense of purpose, the gravity of the situation grounding them. They were entwined in a web of emotions, a dance between fear and desire, creating a pact, a promise that nothing would come between them. In the following days, they spent their time in the hidden grove, developing tactics to protect themselves while deepening their emotional and physical bond. They strategized how to avoid detection, utilizing Xylo's unique skills to evade any sign of pursuit while honing their connection. Under the cloak of night, they would steal moments together where conversations of attraction morphed into shimmering sparks of energy. Their laughter filtered through the trees as they explored this new territory, a blend of friendship and burgeoning romance. One day, as they practiced defensive maneuvers, Xylo leaned closer, his voice low and teasing. "You're almost as quick as a veteran Kylorix, Luna. Perhaps you can be my training partner as we delve into this world of combat and intimate bonding." "Well, I'm no expert in either, but I'm willing to learn," she replied, her eyes glinting with mischief. The air charged with magic, the thrill of adventure blended with romance, creating an intoxicating atmosphere between them. As dusk fell, Luna felt emboldened. "Xylo, can we talk about the bonding part? You mentioned spiritual binds. What does that mean?" Xylo's features softened, a hint of seriousness returning to his gaze. To bond physically means we merge our energies, both in body and spirit. It creates a link that makes us stronger, intertwining our fates. You would possess powers and abilities beyond those of ordinary humans, as I would carry yours as well. But it also means the world becomes challenged. Our vulnerabilities will be exposed. The gravity of his words hung in the air. Luna pondered the sacred ritual, heart racing at the notion. I want that, Xylo. I want a bond that is full, not held back by fear or outside circumstances. Xylo tilted his head, studying her intently. Very well. If we are to bond, we must wait until the stars are aligned, the conditions right to honor our paths. Until then, we prepare ourselves. As they navigated the weeks through training and bonding, Luna and Xylo found equanimity in their shared experiences. Courage flourished amidst uncertainty. They discovered new depths of connection, reveling in physical touch and emotional intimacy as they grew closer. But the hunters remained a looming threat. As they honed their bond, so too did the chaos around them build. The moment of reckoning would soon come, and they had to be ready to stand united against whatever challenges awaited. Together, they prepared for the inevitable clash, a test of strength for each of them, their bond illuminating the darkness of the world around them. Night had fallen once again, a shroud of darkness cloaking the grove in silence. Luna sat cross-legged on the forest floor, her heart pounding in anticipation as she waited for Xylo to return. She had spent the day reflecting on their shared journey, feeling the weight of their bond deepen as they prepared for what lay ahead. Xylo had ventured out to gather intelligence on the hunters, using his advanced skills to survey the area. As her thoughts spiraled through memories of laughter and shared vulnerability, she couldn't shake the feeling that tonight would signal a turning point in their relationship, a moment that would solidify the bond they had been nurturing. Just then, the branches stirred slightly as Xylo emerged from the shadows, his presence electric with determination. Luna, he said, his voice low. I've confirmed that the hunters are regrouping and are more persistent than ever. They're close to finding us. Luna felt a surge of adrenaline course through her. We need to confront them then. Show them we're not to be taken lightly. Xylo stepped closer, his gaze intense. Before we do anything, I must ensure you truly understand the risks involved. Bonding means we stand united, like one body. If we're to face this challenge successfully, we must accept the connection fully and trust one another without hesitation. Then let's do this, she affirmed, a fire igniting within her. I'm ready for whatever comes next, Xylo. With that declaration, Xylo took her hands, the warmth of his touch sending shivers through her being. Then let us honor our bond, Luna. Under the expansive night sky, they began the sacred ritual of merging their energies. The atmosphere crackled with potency as he enclosed her fingers in his own, the air thick with anticipation. In that sacred space, they shared whispered promises, their spirits intertwining. They spoke of dreams, fears, and a future filled with possibility. Eyes locked, they found solace and strength within each other. As they connected, a radiant energy pulsed around them, illuminating the grove in a swirl of ethereal light. Luna felt herself entrust Xylo with her essence, a dance of vulnerability and power that left them breathless. In the throes of their connection, Luna experienced visions of their journey, crimson sunsets, laughter shared under the stars, and the fierce loyalty that had sparked between them. Each shared pulse weaved their souls closer, forging a bond that transcended the physical realm and solidified their emotions. Then, suddenly, the tranquil moment shattered with the distant sounds of engines revving and the roar of voices approaching. The hunters were closer than they anticipated, their determination palpable. Now we stand united, Xylo said, the urgency thrumming through his voice. Get ready. With adrenaline surging through her veins, Luna nodded, knowing that now they were more than just a girl and her pet. They were allies intertwined by a powerful bond, facing an impending threat as one. As the hunters' silhouettes tore through the underbrush, Xylo and Luna positioned themselves defensively at the grove's edge, ready to face the chaos that lay ahead. On my mark, Xylo instructed, confidence radiating from him. The first hunter stepped into the clearing, his eyes narrowing as they fixed on Luna and Xylo. There they are. Get them. The order rang loud and clear, echoing their intent. Without hesitation, Xylo sprang into action, using his agility to sidestep and evade. Luna followed closely, adrenaline propelling her every move as they danced around their foes with newfound precision. They fought not just for their safety, but for the bond that had brought them to this moment. The hunters were caught off guard by Xylo's combat prowess, who moved like a specter, deflecting blows and countering attacks with natural skill. Luna's heart soared as she supported him, her own agility enhanced by their newly forged bond. They were no longer just a boy and girl from different worlds. They were a force to be reckoned with, a testament to the power of connection. Amidst the chaos, Luna found herself matching Xylo's rhythm, every kick and dodge showcasing their unity. The hunters, fueled by greed and arrogance, hadn't expected the duo to fight back with such fierce tenacity. But just as it seemed they were gaining the upper hand, one particularly rugged hunter brandished a weapon designed to incapacitate extraterrestrial beings. Luna's breath caught in her throat as she saw him aim directly at Xylo. "Xylo, look out!" she cried, instinctively lunging forward to shield him. In that moment, a surge of energy erupted between them, a fierce protection stemming from the bond they had forged. Luna felt the connection amplifying, transcending fear as she instinctively tapped into the power flowing between them. She thrusted a forceful wave toward the hunter, knocking the weapon from his grip and distracting him long enough for Xylo to counterattack. With swift movements, they overwhelmed the hunters, forcing them to retreat into the darkness. Panic clear in their faces as realization dawned upon them. They were no longer the hunters, they were prey. As the cacophony died down, Luna and Xylo stood side by side, panting, the forest still echoing with the remnants of chaos. "I didn't know I had that in me," Luna exclaimed, a breathless laugh escaping her lips as she relished in their victory. Xylo looked at her, awe evident in his gaze. "Our bond made you stronger, Luna. Together, we are formidable." In each other's eyes, they saw a reflection of their journey, the beauty of their friendship evolving into love, forged through challenges and trials. They had forged a connection that could surpass even the darkest adversities. From that night onward, they faced the world hand in hand, ready for whatever challenges may arise. As they left the grove behind them and returned to the path of uncertainty, Luna felt a sense of peace. Their love had turned into an unbreakable bond, powerful and radiant, two souls entwined, dancing between worlds, ready to embrace the adventures that awaited them. In a universe full of possibilities and layers, they discovered the strength of connection, the love that grew from the depths of their hearts, intertwined like the stars above them. The journey had just begun, but one thing was certain: together, they could conquer anything that came their way.